Hey guys, how's it going? Kripparrian here. Today I'm going to tell you guys about Diablo Immortal. This is the just announced full mobile Diablo game. And it has received more hate than any other game I have ever seen, like ever. And I agree with some of it, and I wanted to give you guys my full-on opinion. I play a lot of mobile games. I play mobile games as competitive as you know me. Like, I'm the best player in the world in several mobile games. Sometimes at the same time, I take it very seriously. I know what works. I know what doesn't work. I know what will make you guys happy. I know what will make you guys very upset. So I think I can offer some very interesting insight on the matter that is certainly extremely controversial. I do hope you guys come into this with an open mind. My initial reaction when I saw Diablo on mobile announcement at BlizzCon was like, I told you guys, like 2 years ago even, I told you guys the very next Diablo title will be on mobile, and the reason it will be on mobile is because Blizzard does not have a true mobile game out there yet. And, you know, it was like, I knew this was going to happen. It was not a surprise. So while some people really just wanted the Diablo 4 announcement, and it was pretty clear we weren't going to get it, and instead they got this, they were just so disappointed with what their expectation was. They had a mobile Diablo. Like, I don't want to play Diablo on mobile. I get it, and I think that the reason you guys should have an open mind about this is the community has been so outspoken against Diablo Immortal that I think we can get basically whatever we want out of the game given the current stance in the community. So what I think is important for us to kind of take advantage of this situation, instead of like, man, screw Diablo, I'm never playing this piece of crap in my life. Instead, we should have a narrative of suggesting things that we need to have to make us happy in this game. Because Blizzard will have to listen. They have to listen. I know some people were happy with Diablo 3, but as you know, I grew up on Diablo 1. I played Diablo 2 for over a decade, almost every week, right? I grew up with Diablo. I was not satisfied with Diablo 3. I know some of you guys were, and I respect that opinion, but I personally was not, and I know a lot of people were not satisfied with Diablo 3 either. I do not think the Diablo franchise can afford to disappoint 2 consecutive titles. You know, I was there at BlizzCon. I saw the Warcraft 3 remaster announcement. I'm like, holy shit, we're totally going to get it on Diablo 2 as well. And we didn't. I was let down. We didn't have the Diablo 2 remaster. Diablo 2 deserves to be remastered. I hope Diablo 3 is going to be a success. I like mobile games. I think good mobile games are very good games. And I am optimistic that Diablo Immortal can be a good game, especially with the consideration that the community was so outspoken against the original announcement. So please calm down, and I think what I have to say should be pretty insightful. So let's just quickly go over what we have here in Diablo Immortal. I'm on the website here. We see a lot of graphics that looks a lot like Diablo 3. I also want to mention I wanted to make this video like right away, and then, you know, I made some thoughts out there. I thought it's best to actually play the game, because you can play Diablo Immortal at BlizzCon. They have a demo. So I just played it. I'm just coming back from playing the demo right now, and then I'm going to upload this video for you guys. Well, after Anya edits it, of course. So, yeah, mobile, multiplayer, online, MMORPG, by Blizzard Entertainment in partnership with NetEase. So NetEase is, I believe, an Asian company. They've made a number of mobile games that are, you know, moderately successful, I would say. And one thing that I saw, one of the main criticisms, is that Diablo's a reskin of those games. I played Diablo at BlizzCon. I saw those games. I don't necessarily agree with that, but sure. One thing you have to understand is a lot of mobile games have the same controls. So you can kind of see from this gameplay trailer here. Yeah, phone, yeah, do stuff, cool. Okay, the actual gameplay. Where's the actual gameplay? It's like hidden in here somewhere. I don't think they show you the abilities. Okay, that's not exactly too fair. Okay, here we go. Okay, so you can kind of see there's like a number of abilities there, and there's like a main ability there, and there's like potions there, and there's a like a directional pad on the lower left, right? So people look at that and they're like, wow, this is totally the same game as something else. I have played countless games with these controls. Just because the controls make sense when you're holding a phone to kind of use your thumbs to press stuff, it doesn't mean it's the same game. So there's certainly going to be some similarities. You can bet on it. I don't think it's fair to say that this game is a reskin of their other games. But again, we will see. I want you guys to keep in mind, I'm keeping an open mind about this game, but this game might suck. And trust me, if it sucks, I'll let you know, right? You can respect my opinion about mobile games because I play so many of them. And it's true, a lot of them do suck. And if Diablo Immortal sucks, well, I'll tell you about it. The gameplay trailer they have, I don't think actually too accurately represents the gameplay that I played. The gameplay I played was actually quite fluid, but also I want to mention that we were playing kind of on like a LAN server. All the phones were on the same server locally, so there was no lag. It was super smooth. Everything was very, very good in terms of tactile. It wasn't quite as good control as a desktop port, but it was certainly one of the best controls I've played on a mobile game. So I think it is a pretty high-quality mobile game at that. And I don't know what that actually means for the game itself, because it was a local client. Some mobile games have extremely good netcodes, and some mobile games have extremely garbage netcodes. So the fact that it was very smooth at BlizzCon leads me to be optimistic, but there's no certainty on the game looking anywhere near or playing anywhere near like you may expect. That we will have to see when the game comes out. Cinematic trailer, yeah, whatever, it's just cinematic trailer. You get to see some cool stuff, but really nothing there in terms of gameplay, so not really a big deal. And they try to say that this world, the Diablo Immortal is in between, according to this graphic, exactly in between Diablo 2 and Diablo 3. I kind of disagree with this. I thought originally, I guess that's what it is. But it's not really the case. I think they even have the classes here. No, it's probably part of the gameplay trailer. Anyway, so the classes are the exact classes from Diablo 3. The game plays exactly like it does in Diablo 3. This is mostly a lore standpoint. Okay, the game is very much Diablo 3-ish. If you like Diablo 3 in terms of how the game feels, in terms of the class design, in terms of the ability usage, well, you're probably going to like Diablo Immortal because it's kind of the same thing. I did not get very much of a Diablo 2 vibe from playing Diablo Immortal. Actually, I would say I got no Diablo 2 vibe when playing Diablo Immortal. It was very much a Diablo 3 game. I would take this slider and put it right on top of this one, to be honest with you. So, just keep that in mind. Sanctuary fingertips, sure. There are some interesting, this is like a very, you wouldn't see this, or this, even diving in the cave, kind of like a 3D combat. We have not seen anything like this in Diablo 3, and with how fluid the game played on the demo, this is actually kind of exciting. I think there's actually a little bit of a push for new gameplay modes. West March, whatever. Precision, sure. I think this is a bit of an outdated client. I saw in one of the gameplay trailers, Barbarians had 2 potions. In the demo, Barbarians didn't have any kind of mana system. They didn't actually have a second potion, so I'm not sure how that works. But in any case, so these are the standard controls for a mobile game, by the way. This center ability is kind of the spammable attack. It's not fair to call it an auto attack because it's not really like auto. The Barbarian, the one that I played in the demo, he kind of does like a combo attack, and it actually does respectable damage. In many of the other mobile games that I've played, the base attack is often enough the defining skill of a class. So it's not just like, slap your opponent with your weapon that you're wielding. The other skills seemed pretty interesting. The Barbarian, at least, it had a very good feel with the combination of Furious Charge and Whirlwind. Whirlwind seemed to do the most damage, which is kind of what I expect out of a Diablo title. Overall, it's pretty fun. Honestly, it was pretty fun to play the game. Zoom in on the enemy, zero on the enemies, sure, whatever. There was some teamwork and stuff, but not really. You can tell that the game is very early on because they have this class highlight. So, Barbarians apparently have Hammer of the Ancients, yes. Ancient Spear, yes. And Whirlwind. Well, they have 2 other abilities too. They actually had 5 abilities, and so did monks, and so did wizards. So, this basically tells me that the game is fairly early in terms of the balancing, the design, development, which also means that our feedback is particularly important right now. and Crusader, Demon Hunter, and Necromancer were not even playable, which means like they literally have nothing on these classes right now. New enemies, Scar and Herald of Terror is apparently the big bad guy. I don't know who he is, but he looks alright. Looks pretty cool. And pre-register and have some screenshots and stuff. So you guys can check out this website. And that is basically all of the gameplay related comments that I have. But I want to give you guys a little bit of background as to mobile games as a whole. So there are a few aspects to mobile games that makes them very good and very poor. I've played mobile games very seriously for about 2 years now. I feel mobile games cater, some of them, the ones that I like at least, cater the grindy aspect, long-term strategic play being rewarded, efficient play over weeks, over months being rewarded. You become the best player in this game, because you had the right strategy for the last 2-3 months. Those games just feel good to play. And there's a number of mobile games that do that. So that's something to look out for. Obviously, I have no idea if Diablo Immortal is going to deliver on that, but that is a good aspect. That is a good sign of a good mobile game. The other good sign of a mobile game, and the reason why I don't actually consider Hearthstone a mobile game, is mobile games, true mobile games, they get updated a lot. We're talking about a big update every month with minor updates 1 to 2 times a month on top of the big update. The constant update to the game, it feels so good. I think it's literally the main aspect as to why I like mobile games, is because they always change. We have Hearthstone being played on mobile, but Hearthstone is designed as a desktop game. And, it doesn't have this update cycle. And I think that's the main thing that's wrong with Hearthstone. I like the game mechanics. I love you guys know what I like about Hearthstone, okay? But what I do not like is the update cycle. It could be so much better, and it would improve the game. It would always keep it fresh. So I think we should demand a frequent update cycle, frequent content addition to the game. A lot of people play Diablo 3 these days, but they update it so infrequently. They could do so much of a better job on that on mobile, and that is what mobile games do. Okay, they're going to want to, convert some of the Diablo fans and play the game, but they're also going to want to get people who just like mobile games to try out the game. Those people will want constant update cycles. Okay, that's pretty important. Now, another aspect is, while a lot of these games are mobile games, a lot of them these days are playable on at least Windows 10, is what I've noticed. So even though it is not advertised that Diablo Immortal can be played on Windows 10, I don't believe Windows 10 is that dissimilar to the Android client, so I think it's reasonable for us to expect that Diablo Immortal be playable through a Windows 10 client. I think that is certainly something we can begin a conversation of. It will certainly displease a lot of people if they can only play this on their phone, because not everyone enjoys holding a phone and playing a game that way, and I think that's, again, very, very understandable point. The other aspect, a lot of very good mobile games are way too expensive. So there are games, like I play Dungeon Hunter Champions. I'm best guild in the world right now with Epic Gaming. We have people in our guild who are free to play. And in that game, you can spend money. You can spend as much money as you want to keep summoning guys. But at the end of the day, a lot of the guys that you acquire for free are kind of like side grades to the ones that you spend an ungodly amount of money for. So the game is balanced. If you put no money into that game, you can actually be about as competitive as someone who pays an absolute ungodly amount. Okay, so that is a pretty good model. I would prefer games be free, but these companies still have to make money. I've liked some models in other games where you have a $5 a month package and it gives you a considerable amount of currency. So if they have a subscription base, maybe $1 or $2, maybe $5, maybe it's kind of a lot, but a low paying model for a good game, especially with a high update cycle, does wonders for mobile games. But typically what happens is developers get really fucking greedy. So that can literally ruin games. To tell you guys the other end of that, so the best type of mobile game is totally free. Not realistic, but a few bucks here and there, particularly on cosmetic upgrades, that would be super. The other spectrum of that, there are mobile games out there, and I'm sure this is going to sound unbelievable, but they exist. I've played them. I've played many of them, in fact. There are mobile games out there that, to stay competitive, top players are paying like thousands of dollars a month, like $10,000 a month to be really competitive in some of the mobile games I've played. It's absolutely mind-blowing. You know, if Blizzard pushes Diablo Immortal anywhere near that section, it will instantly kill the game and probably the franchise. So it's important that we understand this. So it's important that we have these essential demands out of the game. I think we are, as a community, in a position to demand that Diablo Immortal only has, you know, microtransactions that are cosmetic, or maybe kind of like a subscription model. But really, I don't think there is a place for Diablo Immortal, given the community feedback, for it to be one of those heavy pay-to-win games. That's no longer acceptable. And, you know, even though I've seen the comments, I've seen the hate you guys have given me, I say that because I understand it, but at the same time, I'm optimistic that we can make this game work. I'm optimistic that there's a chance that Diablo Immortal is going to be a really good Diablo title. I like mobile games personally, so I can really understand that. But at the same time, I think we should be a little bit more respectful. Like, I saw people at the Q&A literally asking if this game was a joke, right? So I think it's important that we kind of, you know, you want to uplift things that you like, but at the same time, you have to be fair with your criticism. I think it's important that the community understands this and changes their narrative from screw Diablo, fuck these guys, to this is what I want out of this game to be happy. All right? And I think that's a really important consideration that I hope more of you guys understand. Anyway, let me know your thoughts. I'd love to hear them, even the negative ones. And yeah, why not? Hope you guys got some insight from my video, and I'll see you guys later.